Okay, so welcome to the Sterling Language Verb Tense series. And in this lesson, we are going to study simple present tense. This time, meron tayong konting Filipino or Tagalog commentary. Before we proceed, make sure to follow our social media accounts. We have Facebook, Sterling Language, YouTube, and of course, most probably you're here from TikTok.
Commonly mispronounced words, part 10.
So make sure that you follow that as well. Okay, so let's begin. Ngayon, bago tayo mag-proceed, ito ang one of the very important things that you need to know when you're conjugating your verbs is that you know your subjects on first, second, and third person points of view. And so we have the first person. First person is I singular. That's always the first person, of course. It becomes plural with we, of course, because I is still included. So second person naman, it's you, okay, whether singular or plural. And for the third person singular, we have he, she, it, okay. And for plural, of course, you bundle them together and you get they. So now let's move on or proceed to present tense. Okay. Ang form ng present tense is always the base form of the verb. Well, the subject plus the base form of the verb. But in the third person singular, you add s or es to the verb. For I, you, we, they speak English here. So nothing changes with the verb, whether in statement form, in question form, or in the negative form. You do not speak English. All right. However, in the third person singular, he, she, it, you add s to your verb, speaks. Okay. And this is for regular verbs, by the way. So he speaks English. Does he speak English? Now here, there is no s because yung s napunta na sa do. Of course, because, you know, in question form, either it's do or does. Okay. But here, because the subject is singular still, he, the do or the does takes the s form. The same thing with the negative form of this, for the negative form of this sentence. He does not speak English. Okay. Now, especially for the third person singulars, if you change this to a name of a he, then, you know, the principle is the same. It's still s or es in the third person singular. So whether this is John, or, you know, John speaks English, or does Mary speak English, or the computer does not speak English, it's the same thing. Here in the next screen, now we're going to take on the uses of the present tense. Now, as discussed on TikTok, if you haven't seen it yet, basically, here we have a timeline of past, present, and future time. However, tense does not equal time. In this case, though, for the timeline that we'll be using throughout this series, then we will be using this timeline of past, present, and future. And then these stars indicate or signify the actions. Okay, so what is the first use of the present tense? The first one is repeated actions. Okay, as you can see here, so there are several actions that have been repeated or that are repeated from the past now to the present and even in the future as expected. So you use a simple present tense to express the idea that an action is repeated or is usual or is common. Okay, now this action could be a habit or a hobby, like I create TikTok videos, a daily event, a scheduled event, or something that often happens. Okay, here are some examples. Okay, I play tennis. So here, it's a hobby or a habit, okay, of I play tennis. In the negative form, she does not play tennis, or Mary does not play tennis. Again, as in our first example, the S form goes or is taken by the verb do, right, for the negative form. Same with the question form. Does he play tennis? Okay, for something that is regularly scheduled, like the train leaves every morning at 8 a.m., okay, again, we have the S here because the train is your it, a third person singular. In the negative form, the train does not leave at 9 a.m. And when does the train usually leave? for your question form. Here are the rest of your examples. Now, the second use of the present tense is for facts or generalizations. Now, when we say fact or generalization, this is from the point of view of the speaker. So the simple present tense can also indicate that the speaker believes that a fact was true before, is true now, and will be true in the future, and it is not important if the speaker is correct about that fact. It is just important that the speaker believes it. So also it's used to make, of course, generalizations about people or things, and definitely for scientific conclusions like the sky is blue or fire is hot, something like that. So here are some examples. Cats like milk. So in this sentence, cats like milk, this is a generalization that, well, at least a good percentage of the cat population do like milk. And birds do not like milk. Pigs, or do pigs like milk? Things like this. Again, depende yan sa opinion or paniniwala ng nagsasalita. Nasa nagsasalita yan. Okay? California is in America. Now, this may not entirely be true because there might be a town or another city called California somewhere else around the world, you know? So California is not in the United Kingdom, probably because the speaker already is sure na walang California sa UK. Okay? Windows are made of glass. I disagree with this personally because I grew up in a house where the windows were made of wood. So yeah, windows are not made of wood. So personally, for me, windows are made of wood. Okay? New York City is a small city. Now, if you say this, New Yorkers will kill you. So, but then again, if this is your opinion and you can say this in a grammatical sense, then you were right. As a fact, now that's up for discussion. Third use of present tense is scheduled events in the near future. Okay, I've also discussed this in my TikTok that speakers occasionally use simple present to talk about scheduled events in the near future. Okay, the key word here is near future. Okay, this is most commonly done when talking about a scheduled public transportation, like when does the train leave, or it can also be used with other scheduled events, like when does the party start, okay, or when do we board the plane. Okay, so as you can see here, this action is quite close to the present time, not too far. Let's say, for example, when does the plane leave? We're expecting like that's at the longest is in 2 days. When does the plane leave? Not even, maybe within the day. It's not like you've bought your ticket, tapos 6 months pa yung ticket mo, right? Yung flight, and then when does the plane leave? That's a little weird. So here are some examples. The train leaves tonight at 6 p.m. Now, in here, though, you are assisted or helped by the adverb phrase, adverb of time, tonight at 6 p.m. Pag tinanggal mo ito, the train leaves, it loses its near future sense. Same with the bus does not arrive at 11 a.m., it arrives at 11 p.m. This will definitely be within the day, okay? Like this, like I said earlier, when do we board the plane? This is about us at the airport, already waiting for the plane, okay? The party starts at 8, same. This is how you use the present tense for the actions in the near future. And lastly, you use for now, for the present time, but for non-continuous verbs. What does this mean, non-continuous verbs? They are just verbs that are weird or change meanings pag dinagdagan mo ng ing. For example, if you eat, I eat soup in the morning, that's regular, but I'm eating now, or I am eating means it's the same action. Pagkain, right now. Pag nilagyan mo ng ing, that's a continuous verb. But some verbs, such as see or have, change meaning when you put or you add ing to them. So speakers sometimes use the simple present tense to express the idea that an action is happening or is not happening now. Now, this can only be done with non-continuous verbs and certain mixed verbs. Okay, so Here are some examples like I am here now. Okay? Hindi kasi pwedeng lagyan ng ing dito nga. Magiging I am being here now or I being here is incorrect. Again, she is not here, so no ing. This is not a continuous verb. Although the sense is that continuous yung action, but hindi siya continuous tense. Okay, here again, he needs help right now. This is in the now, present time, but you cannot say he is needing help right now. That is grammatically incorrect. Okay, so he does not need help right now. Same here, he has his passport in his hand, means that is right now, to have. Okay, kasi pag having, okay, he is having, kung gawin mo itong he is having his passport in his hand, to have kasi is what are you having for dinner? So have plus ing, the meaning turns into eat and not to be in possession of, you know? So same with see, like I see you right now, but when you say I'm seeing you, then means I'm dating you. See the it changes meaning. Okay, so I smell something and I am smelling something. Okay, the actions mean a little different, like something smells bad or something. Okay, so that's the fourth use of the present tense. Now, adverb placement. Saan nilalagay ang mga adverbs, especially adverbs of frequency? Okay, us Filipinos, we love to put our adverbs at the end of our sentence, parang pambahabol ba? Because we're probably not used to using our adverbs, inserting them properly. So, like here, you only speak English. The adverb should come before the verb. Bago yung verb. You only speak English, pwede ring always. I always speak English, or you never speak English. When you put it at the end, parang pambahabol, it's understandable, but it does not sound natural. Like you speak English only, or you speak English always. Sounds like a love song. So yeah, same. Do you only speak English, or do you speak English only? Like you would understand the point, but it does not sound natural. So yeah, for the adverb placement, do your best to put your adverbs before the verb. And now let's move on to simple present forms. Ano yung forms ng simple present? It's very easy. Basically, okay, it's remember our first, second, and third person points of view. Here they are again. So yung I, you, we, they, because they're plural or first and second person, no S in your regular verbs. Okay? Ang meron lang S is yung he, she, it. Or these people have names like John, Jennifer, the dog. So there. In the negative, doesn't matter. The verbs just maintain their original form. The helping verbs do and does. Yan. Dito na pupunta yung S sa does. Same with your question form. Do I run? Do you run? And then does he run and does she run? Okay. Takes a lot of practice, but it's easy. And that's it, guys. That is the end of our short lesson on present tense. And I hope that you learned something. Make sure to subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok channels for more lessons on verb tenses and other grammar lessons. Thank you, and have a great day. Stay safe.